Alright, good morning. Welcome to a brand new video of the Target Individual Program, Target Individual Experience. Just took my daughter to school. Last night I stayed up by 5 p.m. and I think it was like I actually was going to go home, but the kids, the kids had been up the night before. We rarely got enough sleeping in class. So I know, I said, when I'm there, they usually go to bed on time. So what happened last night, I stayed over. They went to bed at 9:30. And so I decided to stay up. I stayed over, just to make sure that they get a good night's sleep. And around, I think it was like 11 o'clock, the police drive by, and they're like, whoop, whoop, right? It's so funny that since I've been, even last week, every time I'm over here, I see a ton more airplanes flying low. Okay, see the airplane up there? It's flying pretty low. And I've noticed this been happening last week since I've been here. Right? And so, these are things that I notice, and I try to document. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not something that I would see regularly. I don't think anybody would see regularly, particularly when that airplane is pretty far away from the airport. It's not even close. But that's when it's the official targeting by the federal government, the FBI and the CIA. Well, not particularly more so the CIA, but the FBI. Alright? I mean, yes, the CIA is involved, but they're not supposed to be operating within the United States in terms of clandestine activities, and that include, look at the purple way. Turned around. Well, you waiting to see if I was gonna come back, buddy? You're walking. You waiting to see if I will come back? Well, I'm back, bitch. Yes, I am back, bitch. Keep walking away. Yeah, okay. Shit is hilarious. So anyway, yeah. So like I said, yeah, good. You go one. He walked away. He said, "Good one." Yeah, you good one. Anyway, so it's the FBI. Also, and particularly when it comes to within the local state and state and local police departments, it's the FBI, right? Primarily, okay. So, like I said. And so this morning, Pam can't give me, because she didn't know. I thought I was going to leave. So she didn't know that I stayed over. So she came in there, saw me, and, woke me up. Right? And then she walks towards the window, turns around, puts her hands on her thigh, and doing this hand signal shit. And I was like, oh, it's too early for this shit. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna get upset about it, because I got the kids. I gotta make the kids breakfast and get them dressed for school, which I did, and so forth. Yeah. So I'll pause this. God, look at this shit. I ain't even pressing that elevator. Look at this shit. The elevator was in the basement. Right? Nobody's. Yeah. All right. Yep. So. I was gonna say something. Yeah, hear the siren. Hear the sirens. I tell you, they're so predictable. So when I came into the building waiting for the elevator, there was a white guy came in front of the he doesn't live in the building, you know, he has a dog. And again, you hear sometimes they'll use dogs, you know, to say good boy. I guess they wanted me to stay over last night, but I didn't stay over because they wanted to. Alright, like I said, I stayed over because you know, the kids, the night before Pamela was up and the kids didn't go to bed until 11:30. Alright, she came in with the kids and I called her at, I think it was 7 o'clock, no, a little after 8, a little minutes after 8, a couple minutes after 8, and she was sleeping. And I'm like, hey, you know, are you sleeping? She's like, yeah. She's like, oh shoot, I fell asleep, I passed out, I'm so tired. I'm like, okay, what else is new? So I said, well, what are the kids doing? Did you feed the kids? Did they bathe, anything like that? So she got up. I said to her, okay, I'll call you back. Called back around 10:30. See if the kids had went to bed or what have you on time. She's like, no, I'm still up doing homework with Ethan. So the kids didn't go to bed until after 11:30. So that's why yesterday they were tired in class, sleeping in class. You know, the teachers always, when I see the teacher, she's like, Alyssa, is she sleeping? And she's like, this child is sleeping in class. She can't even keep her eyes open. You know, so at least last night she got enough. She got a good amount of sleep. She did wake up in the middle of the night asking for water, and you know, she went right back to sleep. You know, it's kind of like, it's kind of frustrating, you know, but you guys hear me say it's kind of frustrating. You hear the car honking, right? Let me take off my hat. Here, there you go again. See how they target you, right? By listening to our conversation. Right, by listening to my conversations that I'm having when doing this video. Yeah, so as I said, it's kind of frustrating because, you know, I've told this to Pam many years ago. I said, you know, you have a really bad sleeping habit and the kids are adapting to your sleeping habit. And I try to get us to go to bed on time. Try to get her to go to bed on time. You know, it's always, oh, I need time to wind down. And yeah, but nobody winds down till 1 o'clock in the morning. Right? I mean, I can understand. If I have insomnia sometimes, I can't sleep, and I can understand that. But she's up, not because she has insomnia, because she's used to being that way. Okay, so her sleeping habits is different, you know. I'm an early riser. I can get up early. And it took me a while to become this way because I used to work late, you know, so I was coming home late, you know, sometimes coming home 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, even 5 o'clock in the morning at times, from working late, and then, you know, because I had to be back to work at let's say at 4 o'clock, you know. So, you know, now I can get up early. Right, if I go to bed at a decent time. If I go to bed like around 12 o'clock or have it, I can get up early. It'd be 6 o'clock in the morning, and that's fine. But because of the targeting, my insomnia, that comes about whenever I'm being microwave, and I know that's affecting the kids' sleeping patterns too. Because not on top of that, but the noise, right? So they may not be consciously be aware of the noise, but I am, because it's not something that I could ever get used to, right? I mean, before I became a target. Yeah, I would hear fire police sirens, but not to the extent where it's like all day. Not to the extent where it's like, you know, almost every 10, 20 minutes, you know, and sometimes it goes on for hours on end. So it's not something that's normal, right? It is, because in particular in this climate, it is just not normal because there's not enough crimes, there's not enough emergency that's happening continuously like that. particularly when you're a TI in whichever area that you resides in, right? So, again, it's a waste of taxpayers' resources. On top of that, they can seriously injure somebody, particularly when they use the fire trucks to target me or the ambulance to target me when they're driving by fast, blowing their horns and the sirens and all that shit. It's ridiculous, but they don't, like I said, what they don't tell you is that noise, right? Particularly when it comes to children, noise have a negative impact on their psychological state and their cognitive ability. So, again, you think that, you're allowing this to happen. You're not saying anything to me or to any TIs, about what's happening. You're not even concerned about your own children, but you're participating in targeting TIs, not realizing that you're harming yourself and your children if you have children. So, there you go. Okay, so you think you're hurting us, but you're also hurting yourself and your children if you have children. Just think about that. This is for the perps, right? Not for you TIs. This is for the perps. When they engage in this behavior against us, they're hurting themselves also. If they have children, they're also hurting their children. And they're not even conscious of it, right? Because they've been brainwashed. They've been deceived and manipulated. Okay? I'll see you guys in the next video.